question.
What do you have to say to the trans students on this campus who feel actively victimized by your presence here?
Life's tough. Get a helmet, man. I'm too pregnant for this. Next question.
Hello, this is Maxwell with Z Gambit, and thank you very much for joining me. So anytime we talk about Candice Owens, we know that things are going to be good. But a pregnant Candice Owens is actually another Candice Owens who is very brutal and always in beast mode. So Candice Owens was at a school, at a university, where she was giving a presentation, and afterwards, as usual, she gives question time. Now this time she gave questions to many people, and among them were the LGBT community guys who came, and they're always prepared, loaded to bring questions, even those questions that are not part of the presentation. But I love the way that she answered these questions, and because she was pregnant, so she didn't have time to entertain them or maybe tolerate such kind of things, So we are going to watch this interview together, and it's quite very interesting. So stay tuned, kindly do like, share, and subscribe. So without wasting much time, let's go directly into the presentation together.
Guys, I'm just going to say this because the line is long. Let's try to keep the questions short so we can get to as many people's questions as possible. All right, let's get started.
She didn't care.
My question isn't specifically about anything you really said tonight, although I don't really agree with anything you said.
Okay.
I'm proudly part of the LGBTQ community.
It's always like that.
Stood up for my community whenever I needed to. I want to focus specifically on, I've been listening to you for a little bit just to understand some things. A live stream you did about Pride Month in June on Facebook because you were no longer allowed on YouTube. The event that you were talking about, I actually had the honor of attending that event with a lot of my really close friends, and I found it very perplexing to me how you choose to only focus on the things that are negative when it comes to the queer community.
Sorry, when it comes to what community?
The queer community.
Okay.
Do you not realize that people like you and people like the people you're around and that, continue to have this idea of us are the reason we feel that we have to be so openly proud of who we are. Your demented homophobic and transphobic rhetoric and rants just further prove our point that we have to fight loudly to be respected. The reason that LGBTQIA+ suicide rates are so high in this country isn't just because we're part of the community, it's because there are people like you who make us feel like we don't belong. The only LGBTQ agenda we have is
is there a question in there or a speech?
Yes.
You got to ask a question, buddy. I know you wrote this out in your notes, but ask a question.
She didn't have time for nonsense. She wanted things to go directly to as they're supposed to be.
Respond to the fact that your hateful and harmful rhetoric costs the lives of queer children every single day, on average, every 45 seconds.
Okay, so this is just going to be a pure boogeyman. You're pretending that someone committed suicide because of Candice Owens. You've got no facts here. You're just going at your rhetoric that's causing all of this.
The evidence is, trust me, bro. There's no facts or statistics whatsoever, but trust me, bro.
Who was convinced to chop his penis off after your community told him that there was something wrong with him because he had confusion. Why was he trans? Because he was molested when he was 4 years old by his uncle. Rather than being sat down and spoken to by a psychologist, he was handed hormone pills, and he eventually chopped off his penis. Walt Heyer is now 80 years old. He detransitioned, and he does a lot of work talking about why it is that he runs a charity, an actual charity that is dedicated to sex change regret, of people who have changed their parts and can't go back. And you know what happens? Suicide rates go up after they transition. And Candice Owens wasn't the one that chopped their dicks off. Great. Next question.
Well, as much as she is very brutally honest and trying to be, caring less in this case, she's actually having a very good point. There's an issue with the LGBT community trying to play the blame game. Trying to find whoever could speak against them and trying to blame whoever speaks against them. So here this guy was coming and saying that the reason why the suicide rate in the LGBT community is high is because of people who are always against them. So because of that, people are killing themselves. However, there's no statistics whatsoever which show that. It's only, like I said, trust me, bro. They just say things from without and try to believe themselves. Because first of all, for a woman to claim she's a man and a man to claim the woman, it's something that has to do with feelings. So definitely they do value feelings very much, and therefore facts don't matter in this case. If they say that this is how it goes, this is how it goes. So she was only coming out saying that this is not the case. Most people usually get depressed once they transition because it usually is a momentarily thing sometimes that they want to transition. But when they do transition afterwards, they start to feel that gap now that they have made a mistake, and that brings a lot of regret. And regret usually brings on its own a lot of depression, which leads to a lot of suicide rates in most cases. So what these people need is therapy and not sex change or surgery whatsoever, as they say it. So this is a big problem within the United States and Europe, I can say. In Africa, it has not yet come, even though the US is pushing that to Africa that much and bringing in aid and trying to tie aid to these kinds of things, stating if you don't agree to this, we can't give you this aid. If you don't agree to this, we are going to pull out of here. So this is what some African countries are trying to fight now in the recent days. But as she was saying, she's not the reason why these things are happening, or she's not the one that is going out there to cut these people's penises, but they make this decision and afterwards regret the fact that they make these decisions. So let's continue. She talked to quite a number of students, and we just want to watch about 3 or 4, and because that's very interesting as she did. Let's continue.
I mean, really, let's calm down. I just want to say, I am not the doctor who chopped off these people's penises. I am not the person that caused them to have that depression after they go through these transitions and can't just magically go back. So as I said,
she has a point. She has a point, actually.
Creating an absolute straw man. Your rhetoric has done this. You have no idea what's going on in those individuals' lives and how they are being inspired to ruin their own lives. And so on my platform, I do host people that have sex change regret, and I speak to those individuals because the community needs to hear those stories before they make those same decisions and can't turn around. Plain and simple. Hello.
What do you have to say to the trans students on this campus who actively feel victimized by your presence here today? Additionally, you just pointed out that this man detransitioned, but earlier in your speech...
Guys, I want to hear her. Go ahead. What do I have to say? Just the question, please. No speech. What is...
So just to pause a little bit here, she comes and says there are people who feel victimized for the fact that she is there, which is kind of very wrong in a society whereas people just are too much consumed with feelings and they feel victimized for the fact that another person is there. First question that would be there would be, why would someone come knowing that there's a person that would victimize him in the first place? So you go to a place that you think is going to be a problem for you and you go there and complain there instead of just staying away. So these are things that are actually coming up these days, and you think about it and you just say, no, this is just some kind of mental disturbance that needs some attention, you know? So let's see what Candice Owens says here.
What's the question?
What do you have to say to the trans students on this campus who feel actively victimized by your presence here?
Life's tough. Get a helmet, man. I'm too pregnant for this. Next question.
Life's tough. Get a helmet. So this is where it comes from, you know. So this is where the life stuff, get a helmet, came from. She actually just said it because I'm too pregnant for this. She just said it anyhow, you know, and a pregnant woman, you know, she goes through a lot, and this is kind of one of those things that usually just come along and she gets easily irritated because of the hormones and everything that's going on, you know. So she just said it out and let it out, and it was true. Life is tough. Get a helmet. I'm too black for this thing. No, I'm not a victim actually, so I can't say that for me. I don't really care about that. Race, I don't care about that. But she was actually making a point. Let's continue.
My goodness. Seriously, somebody just give out free hugs or something in the somebody give out free hugs. I can't be your mommy, okay? I'm too pregnant. I can't be your mommy. Next up.
Yeah.
As a non-binary person, what do you have to tell me about my identity? Because I know for a fact I'm not confused.
Okay, next question. Great statement. That's a statement. That's a statement. Okay, you know your identity. You're not confused. Congratulations, sweetheart. Thank you very much for your statement. Hi, how are you?
Well, that was quite very interesting. So one of the things that I've noticed about this, actually, about the last girl that spoke, she just came and says, I'm a non-binary, this person and this person. So what she wants is just affirmation. And I do not know what they gain from affirmation. What is there to gain? So if you believe in such kind of things, don't think other people believe the same thing. And don't force people to believe things that you do not want to believe. Let them have a free choice to believe it. If they don't, it's fine. If they do, it's fine. it's also fine. For me, I have nothing against the gay community. I know it's wrong for me. For me, I do believe that it is wrong. It is against human nature as it is. However, I can't do anything about it because I know that they believe that, so let them do their own thing as long as they don't force me to do the same thing. That is what we call freedom of or liberty, I can say, or freedom, I can say. Anyone has a right to do what is right according to them, but legal, as we talk about. Legal, but what is right in that way. So I don't know what you think. Kindly do let us know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section. We do discuss, as there are many things that I'll be posting, especially Candice Owens and the other guys, that actually make me feel nice about, watching these debates. So yeah, this is Maxo with Z Gambit. Kindly do like, share, and subscribe, and give us your feedback. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day, afternoon, and evening. Bye-bye.